Hello, you just arrived at the first tutorial on the Wolf of Art channel. I'm excited to answer a question I get asked often. Where do you get your backgrounds, or how do you make them? In this video, I'll walk you through exactly what I use and how I create my backgrounds. It's going to be simple and easy, just the basics. And if you have any questions, I'm just a comment away. Now let's start creating. So for my backgrounds, I use Midjourney, a powerful text-to-image AI that brings your ideas to life. It's like having a personal art assistant that takes your words and turns them into beautiful images. You can use Midjourney either through the web or on Discord. I'll start by showing you how to create your background images using the Midjourney bot on Discord. Quick tip, I'm working on midpro.xyz, a space I'm building just for you with Midjourney prompts, modifiers, tutorials, and guides. I've also put together an overview of the official documentation. Click Guide to explore all the settings with direct links to the official resources. So if you're new to Midjourney, it's a good idea to check out the Discord Quick Start. Click the link, and it'll take you to the official guide. And all the links I mention in this tutorial are right in the description below. Now that you've got that covered, let's get started. All right. Let's dive into basic prompting for a 3D room background image. A prompt can be as simple as a single word or phrase. To help you understand how text prompting works, I'll start simple and build up. Let's begin with just 2 words, 3D room. As we move forward, you'll see how adding more details can completely transform the results. Open the Midjourney bot on Discord. In the message box, press the / key. This brings up the command menu. Now click on Imagine to start your prompt. Now, let's add a couple of key parameters. I'll use AR16:9 to set the aspect ratio to widescreen, and then I'll add S100 to adjust the stylization. Lower values keep the image closer to your prompt, while higher values make it more artistic, but can drift from your description. Now, let's check out the results. As you can see, there's a lot happening in these images. That's because we started with a broad term without getting specific. Let's refine it by adding the word empty, so our next prompt will be 3D empty room, while keeping the same parameters. All right, this looks good. Now let's improve our prompt by adding the second term, cartoon style. So the next prompt will be 3D cartoon style empty room. As you can see, without clear specifics, Midjourney gives you a wide range of variations. Now let's add more detail. This time we'll include brick wall and wooden floor in the prompt. So now it becomes 3D cartoon style empty room wooden floor brick wall. Cool, we've got what we asked for. Your imagination is truly the limit in how you set this up. Now, let's add a theme to our prompt. I'll demonstrate with some themes. You simply put the theme term in front of empty. For example, our new prompt will be 3D cartoon style, fantasy empty room, wooden floor, brick wall. I'm also going to add a second prompt using the parameter V5.2. This specifies that we're using Midjourney version 5.2, which I found offers higher quality images. However, the latest version 6.1 generally has a better understanding. Awesome! You can already see how adding fantasy completely changed the vibe of the room. Now, let's do the same with other themes like modern, vintage, horror, ocean, galaxy, and playful. Since the process is the same as what we did with fantasy, I'll fast forward straight to the results so we can see how each theme brings its own unique touch. As you can see, I've created 6 different background images, each with 2 versions. One using version 5.2 and the other using 6.1, making it a total of 12 images. Now, let's take a moment to see how each term influenced the results. Fantasy, galaxy, horror, modern, ocean, playful, and vintage. Great. Now let's continue and add some perspective. There are different views you can use, but for now, I'll demonstrate 6 different ones. To keep things focused, I'll stick with the modern theme. Let's start by specifying a front view of the room. So the new prompt becomes 3D cartoon style, front view, modern empty room, wooden floor, brick wall. Perfect. Now, let's explore how different view terms impact the final image. I'll switch up the view terms one by one, starting with wide shot, then move to top down, close up, zoom out, and finally 360-degree view. All right, let's check out the results. Front view, wide shot view, top down view, close up view, zoom out view, and 360-degree view. Cool. I'll stick with the front view. If you've noticed, most results don't have a ceiling yet, so let's complete the room by adding one. The ceiling plays a huge part in shaping the room's overall style. So I'll show you 2 examples, one with a wooden ceiling and another with an ancient ceiling, and then fast forward through other results like galaxy, spacecraft, dome, futuristic, and slope to give you a feel for what's possible. Let's start with the wooden ceiling. The updated prompt will be 3D cartoon style, front view, modern empty room, wooden ceiling, wooden floor, brick wall. Cool. We've now got a full view of the room, complete with a ceiling. Let's take a moment to explore the term ancient for the ceiling. This word can be paired with other terms to create a unique atmosphere, such as fantasy, Ottoman, Arabic, Egyptian, Greek, Gothic, and more. So, here's our refined prompt. 3D cartoon style, front view, modern empty room, ancient fantasy ceiling, wooden floor, brick wall. Cool. You can see how the style of the room has changed. Once again, your imagination is the only limit. You can use materials like gold, glass, or metal, or dive into themes like futuristic, floral, galaxy, science fiction, and more. And don't worry, I've created a list with all the popular themes and styles for ceilings, floors, and walls. The link to the list is in the description. Great! Now to give you a clearer idea of the possibilities, I'll show you the results of 12 different ceiling terms, so you can see how these terms can transform the overall look of the room. Wooden ceiling, galaxy ceiling, spacecraft ceiling, dome ceiling, futuristic ceiling, slope ceiling, floral ceiling, science fiction ceiling, ancient fantasy ceiling, ancient Ottoman ceiling, ancient Arabic ceiling, ancient Egyptian ceiling, ancient Greek ceiling, and ancient Gothic ceiling. All right, let's quickly go over what we've done so far. We started with a basic prompt, 3D room. From there, we took it step by step. First, to clear out any distractions, we added empty so it became 3D empty room. Next, we gave it a style by adding cartoon style. After that, we added specific elements like a wooden floor and brick wall. To give it a clean look, we went with the modern theme. For a better perspective, we specified a front view. Finally, we completed the room by adding a ceiling. Along the way, I also showed you results of the different terms to give you a clear idea of how each term impacts the final outcome. I also introduced you to parameters like ~AR16:9 for aspect ratio, ~S100 for style, and ~V5.2 for the Midjourney version. If you're curious to explore these parameters further and learn how to improve your prompts, head over to the guide on midpro.xyz for all the details. Alright, now let's take it a step further and add a screen on the wall. We'll do that by including the term wall-mounted projection screen. So, our updated prompt now becomes 3D cartoon style, front view, modern empty room, ancient fantasy ceiling, wooden floor, brick wall, wall-mounted projection screen. Now, let's make it even more interesting. For example, let's add the term decorative frame. Cool, that looks nice. Now let's add a carpet. I'm going with a dark red wool carpet, but you can choose any style you prefer like floral, animal print, Ottoman, Persian, and more. Now, I'll show you how using the terms dark red and dark blue for the wool carpet can transform the feel of the room. Remember, the colors you choose will impact the overall style and atmosphere. Nice. As you can see, the colors create a different feeling in the room, and you can always experiment with other colors. Now, let's change the term wooden floor to beige marble floor and see how this impacts the room's overall style. Cool. That looks great. Now we've built a strong basis for our room background prompt. You can always edit the terms or add new ones to suit your vision. The beauty of this process is that your imagination is the only limit. Now, I'll change the term brick wall to black marble wall. Let's see how that looks. Okay, looks fine. Now let's complete our prompt by adding a term for lighting. You might try warm lighting or go with cinematic light or terms like studio light. So, I'm going to add dark warm cinematic light to the end of the prompt. Let's see how it looks. Looks great. Now I want more variations of the second and last image. I simply click on V2 and V4. Now, let's take a look at how the variations turned out and choose one to continue with, so I can show you the available options for editing the image in Discord. Alright, I'll go with the second image, so I simply click on U2. Now, as you can see, we have several options to choose from. I'll demonstrate each one, starting with the upscale subtle option. This option doubles the size of your image while keeping the details very similar to the original. Next, we have the upscale creative option. This also doubles the size of your image, but it adds new details while keeping the original concept. Next, we have the very subtle option. This will generate new images that keep the original composition and colors, but introduce slight subtle changes to the details. Next, we have very strong. This option creates more noticeable variations by making some changes to the original image. Next, you can use Vary Region, which allows you to select and regenerate specific parts of an upscaled image, giving you control over which areas to adjust. Next, we have the Zoom Out option, which lets you expand the canvas of an upscaled image without changing the original content. The new area will be filled in based on your prompt and image. Next, we have the Custom Zoom option, which lets you decide how much to zoom out on your image. A box will pop up where you can enter a value between 1 and 2 for double-dash zoom. You can also update the prompt before expanding the image, giving you more control over the final result. Next is the Make Square option. It's pretty straightforward. You use it to adjust the aspect ratio of a non-square image, turning it into a square image. Lastly, there's the Pan option, which allows you to extend the canvas in any direction while keeping the original content. The new area will be generated to match your prompt and blend with the rest of the image. There's also a favorite button to quickly save and find your favorite images on the Midjourney website. And the web button takes you straight to your gallery on midjourney.com. If you'd like to learn how to use the web version, simply visit Mid Pro, head to the Guide section, click on Web Quick Start, and watch the quick introduction video to get started with midjourney.com. Alright, while we're here, I'll show you some parameters that I'll use to wrap up this tutorial. Let's open the parameter list. Click on Command Parameters, then select Parameters, which will display a list of available options. Don't worry, I won't be using them all. For now, I'll choose the double-chaos parameter. This influences how varied the images are, so higher chaos values will generate more unexpected results, while lower values produce more predictable outcomes. Next, I'll use the double-quality parameter. Higher quality values take more GPU time, but can improve textures and details in the image. However, it might reduce the overall coherence of the image. Alright, now that our prompt is complete, I'll create a few variations using the stylize parameter. So far we've used double-100, but now I'll experiment with values like 10, 300, 500, and 700. Now you can see how increasing the stylize value causes the image to drift away from your original prompt, bringing in some exciting and unexpected details. Alright, now I'll introduce some variations using the chaos parameter. I'll set stylize value to 300 and experiment with chaos values of 20, 50, and 80 to observe how they affect the results. Now, you can see how increasing the chaos value changes things. The image starts to drift further from your prompt, giving completely different and unexpected results. Cool, as you can see, Midjourney offers a wide range of options, and the possibilities are endless. You can take the prompt we've built and adjust it to match your own vision. To give you an idea of how it works, I'll show you some examples of the prompts and the results. When I create, I like to experiment with various terms and parameters to explore different possibilities. Once I find one that works, I stick with it and keep refining variations until I'm satisfied with the result. As you can see, I've tried different variations, adding new terms like red velvet chair. There's no strict rule for prompting. It's all about experimenting and seeing what works for you. The key is to keep going until you achieve the results you're happy with. If you're enjoying this tutorial, give it a like and subscribe. I'll guide you through creative resources in digital art and design, so feel free to leave a comment with any questions. This is just the beginning, and many more informative, exciting videos coming your way to make your learning even easier. I'll also be sharing articles that go hand in hand with the tutorials. You'll find helpful information and prompts mentioned in the video and links to help you along the way. You can find the link to the article in the description. After I choose the final image, I like to make some last adjustments, like tweaking colors and adding or removing details. Then I upscale the image to make sure it looks good and ready for use. Alright, now I'll pick an image and make some adjustments so you can see the process in action. To make adjustments, you can use the web editor. Just click on the web button and it will take you straight to the Midjourney website, where you can edit your image. Next, click on the editor to access the editor menu. Here, you'll find 7 options: erase, restore, undo, redo, brush size, scale, ratio, and edit prompt, allowing you to customize your image. Let's say we want to change the chair to a blue one. First, use the brush tool to paint over the chair. Then update the term red velvet to blue velvet in the prompt. Finally, click Submit, and then you can find the final image in the Create section. Cool, that looks fine. If you'd like to learn more about the editor, just head over to the guide section on MidPro and click on the web editor. Now let's move on to upscaling. We've already covered upscaling in Discord, where you can double the size of your image. However, with version 5.2 and you use the parameter ~v5.2, you have the option to upscale by 4 times. And if that's not enough, you can always use Adobe Photoshop's Super Zoom feature. Let me show you quickly how to do that. Once you've opened your image in Photoshop, go to the top menu and click on Filter, then select Neural Filters. This will open a side panel with filter options. Now scroll down to Photography and choose Super Zoom. Since the image I'm using is already 5000 pixels, I'll set the zoom to 2x, but this depends on the resolution you are working with for upscaling. Next, adjust the noise reduction to 3 and the sharpen to 1, then click OK to apply the changes. Now that we're here, let me quickly show you how you can use prompts in Photoshop too. For example, if I want to change the ceiling of this room, I'll start by selecting the rectangular marquee tool from the left menu. Then, I'll click and drag to select the ceiling area on the canvas. Next, click on Generative Fill and type your prompt. In this case, I'll enter black marble ceiling and then click Generate to apply the change. It will generate 3 options for you to choose from. If you're not satisfied with the results, simply click Generate again to get new variations. I'm going to stop here for now because there's always another tool, technique, or creative tweak you can make. I want to keep things focused for you so we don't get overwhelmed by all the possibilities. Here's a final quick tip. If you are looking for a free option for upscaling, try the open source software Upscale. You can find the link in the description. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, it means this video was meant for you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to drop a comment. And if this video brought you value, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials and content designed with you in mind. You are now part of this creative journey, and I'm excited to keep growing together.